Hi there, and welcome to my review for Journeyman. Journeyman is the second feature by writer-director Paddy Considine, whose previous feature, Tyrannosaur, is one of my real favourites. It's a real, genuinely dark and grim masterpiece. It was actually filmed near where I live, and actually one scene is actually literally filmed just a few streets away from where I'm filming right now. Like, I could get there in a minute. Anyway, I digress. So Journeyman. Journeyman is another really strong film by Paddy Considine. It's a film about a boxer, and obviously there's plenty of great films out there about boxers. And yes, straight up this doesn't match your Rocky and Creed and Raging Bull, but I mean it's not far off. Like it's in the top tier of boxing movies, just not the very top tier. So Journeyman basically follows a boxer, played by Considine himself. He starts off the movie and he's in a title fight. I knew nothing going in, and the film seemed to be about just a standard boxing movie. But then what it actually becomes about is he then becomes about mental illness, because he gets a head injury. And from then on, the film is about what happens to him after the head injury itself, and how it manifests on his character and what happens to him. And in many ways the film is kind of about loss. Like, it's about the loss of identity, about the loss of self. It's also about the loss of family. It's also about being unable to tell who you are, who you care about, why you care about. It's about a lot of things which I think are quite fundamental about what makes us us, and what makes us who we are to the people that we love, to our friends and to our family. And so in all those regards, Journeyman really is a genuinely sort of moving drama. The best way to really sort of describe it is, and this incidentally is almost spoilers for another film, but the film's been out for like 15 years, so get used to it. It's kind of like what the second half of $1 Million Baby is, but much better. So the film is then about the boxer character played by Considine and his loss of self and identity, and about how he reacts to what happens to him, and about how everybody else reacts. It's just as important how his friends and family, and even his people who he isn't friends with, how people who barely know him, about his opponents, how do they react to what happens to him. And what the film becomes very quickly is not a boxing movie at all, but actually a much more moving drama. One of the things that I think is really outstanding about the film is that, I mean, first of all, it's genuinely moving. It is the sort of film that does sort of move you to tears at points, but I feel like the positive moments in the film matter just as much as the really negative ones, and there is a lot of negative ones. I feel like even though the film has a lot of big negative sections, every single tiny positive that sort of happens is emphasised just as much, and so it kind of balances out into sort of a melancholic experience that you don't leave heartbroken. You leave it feeling saddened, but also kind of grateful that in at least the fictional world there is good people out there. And that's kind of what makes Journeyman a compelling film. It's simple, and it's a bit melodramatic, and it's not trying to be complex. It touches on these things about identity and about family and about sticking through thick and thin. But once again, it's about the happiness as much as it's about the sadness. Tyrannosaur, which was Considine's previous film, was a really grim and nasty experience. And don't get me wrong, I much preferred that film, but that is so nasty and unbelievably horrible in places. And by contrast, Journeyman doesn't really ever get into that territory. It never really becomes the utter just bleakness that it could do. Yet it's still really moving. It's as moving perhaps as Tyrannosaur is bleak. And I think that's really its strength, is that ultimately whatever happens, it's really moving. I think also it really helps at the lead performance by Considine, who is also an actor, best known for maybe The World's End, where he's one of the 5 leads. Considine really nails the performance, I feel. He's nuanced, he gets sort of the little mannerisms right, for my amateur eyes, admittedly. And I don't know anyone who has the condition of the character, so I can't really comment, but it seemed right to me, but you don't take my word for it. But actually, I think another absolute standout is Jodie Whittaker, who plays Considine's wife in the film, and she is going to be the new Doctor in a few months' time in Doctor Who. So she's obviously, sort of going up there in the world, and she's a talented actress, and she's been really great in a lot of stuff for a very long time. But she's really, really, really good here as a wife. In fact, in many sequences between Considine having the more meaty role, seemingly, and Whittaker, who is kind of a supporting role, as she actually sort of steals the show quite a lot in this film, which is, you know, a testament to her. There is definitely issues with Journeyman. It's not flawless by any means. It's kind of predictable. It is cliched. It is full of tropes. You know where it's gonna go pretty much from every single moment. Like you would never. You might not know it's about mental illness from the start, but once it is, you kind of know where it's going to go, and it kind of does go where you know it's going to go. But it really moves you on that journey, and it's not a super fast-paced movie, but it's not slow either. Like, it's 90 minutes, so it's lean and it's quick, and you sit there and it just moves you along fast, and and it touches you, and you go, okay, yeah, I kind of get why this is emotional, and I get what's going on. I get why these characters do what they do. Because I didn't know it would be about mental illness, I genuinely didn't know I genuinely watched the first half hour thinking, this is like a really good boxing movie. Like, this is like top tier sort of Rocky level stuff. You know, the best Rocky films. It's like that level stuff. And where's it gonna go from there? Because otherwise it's going to just be a normal boxing movie, and then it absolutely is not a normal boxing movie, and it doesn't get worse particularly, but it's kind of different, and that's kind of what I like about it. It's a sort of a different film. It's not really about boxing, despite, I mean, I haven't seen any trailers for it yet. I don't think they've even released one. I think they might have done, but when they do release a trailer for it, I'll be interested in how they advertise it, because it's not a film to advertise as boxing related, I guess, but then, I mean, I don't know, is the drama going to be a big draw for people? I suppose with the talent on board, hopefully people will want to see, you know, this film. So yeah, I mean, it's tropey, it's predictable, it's a little bit generic, but it nails everything it needs. It nails the characters, it nails the emotion, it nails telling a good story. I would say this is definitely one to watch. I think many people might be more disappointed than I was. I imagine some people were expecting another Tyrannosaur will probably feel a bit let down by this, but I think if you watch this for what it is, I think it's a really solid piece of work. I don't think Journeyman is a masterpiece by any means. I think it's flawed, but I think for what it is, you get more than you'd expect. I personally liked it a lot more than I thought I might. I think it's a really, really solid work, and I think I'd have to say it's a great film. If you like my review here, give it a like. If you want more, subscribe. I'm gonna also you can also keep up with what I think of films I'm watching by following me on Twitter or on Letterboxd, links in the description. And yeah, Journeyman, it's a great film.